Well, I guess the Bears, man. Every single week. We're just not gonna get a chill win the next part of the schedule. I'm just gonna take it as we're not gonna get a chill win, at all. It seems like, the remaining part of these games are gonna come down to the damn wire unless we're getting blown out. But look, I'll take it. A win is a win. Again, not pretty. But with the fact that you had damn near half your starting defense out, um, you'll take it. And thank goodness Aaron Rodgers didn't play today. I personally wanted to play him today, but with all the injuries, I was actually like, you know what? Actually, it's probably a good thing he didn't play today. So for today, he can't come up into the building saying he owns us. Yeah, this guy pregame was apparently flipping off cameras and doing all his Aaron Rodgers shittick. Anyways, the Bears beat the Steelers by the score 31 to 28. Find another way to win a game and close it out, and they move to 8-3. We are still first place in the NFC North. The Vikings didn't want to do us a fucking solid to go beat the Packers in Lambeau. It's starting to look like JJ McCarthy is not that dude. He is not nine, or he's not a good quarterback. Who would have thought? You come from freaking Michigan where you mostly ran the football and you benefited off the run game. Not shocking why he's not that good of a quarterback, right? So it looks like the Vikings, for all intents and purposes, messed up on the quarterback selection there. So for frick's sake, you hope maybe, only direction I see them going is, maybe they go get Mac Jones if he's available, but I don't think Mac Jones is any good. He's all right, but they're starting to look like they probably should have just gave the money to Sam Darnold. The Packers won, sadly, so they're keeping up pace with you. And then the Giants, well, again, they start out hot and they start out fast, like our game, and then they presumably just piss it down their leg and they lose in overtime to the Detroit Lions, which pisses me off because, again, a team they had dead in the water, the Detroit Lions, legitimately, and the Lions, credit to them, they found a way to win. But the Giants that came up into um, Ford Field and beat those dudes, I would have been laughing my ass off. But still, for all intents and purposes, I think they're more than likely still out of the playoff picture. It's kind of like how the Colts today, they completely, for like a good, three quarters, dominated the Chiefs. And then the fourth quarter, they let the Chiefs freaking come back on them and beat them, which gives the Chiefs a chance at still finding a way to get back into the playoff picture. And it's like when you're the Colts, you can knock the presumable potential AFC favorites out for good. But with the way the AFC is looking, it's looking like the AFC Championship game. It might be New England fucking Denver for all we know. Because the Bills are bumbling around and they can't do anything right. The freaking Ravens, they were bumbling around in a dogfight with the damn Jets. But anyways, I'm not talking about NFL. Maybe I'll do an NFL recap as a whole, right? As a whole later tonight. But the Bears found another game to win. You know, we'll take the dubs. We will take the dubs. It's just crazy how this team has so many injuries on the defensive side of the ball. We're honestly getting to the point where we're like the Detroit Lions defense of last year, where their best players just out and they keep dropping like flies. You'll have them come back one week, boom, they get dropped. Like the Tremaine Edmonds injury completely shocked me. And when he went on IR, I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake, bro. Like, at some point, I'm like, I'm gonna start looking at the training staff for the Bears and be like, hey man, what are y'all doing with these guys? Are you guys giving them the proper like recovery program after games are over? Are you guys giving them the best massages? Are you guys got the diet on point for these dudes to be healthy to get through a season? Because it's absolutely crazy how, shockingly enough, typically for the Bears, the offensive line was always the most injury prone offensive line. We had a lot of dudes that are injury prone, right? But Jonah Jackson, albeit he got nicked up, he came back in the game. Darnell Wright, who's been kind of an injury prone player himself, he's been healthy. And it's just like, dog, you know, The offensive line is healthy for once, but it's not the cost for the fucking defense. The defense can't stay healthy to save their life. And that's why I'm going to say, like, especially for Commander fans saying, oh, you guys are just getting lucky. See, the difference is this, bro. Y'all guys are having injuries all over the place. It's on the offense side of the ball and on top of the defense side of the ball. Plus, you're playing tougher teams, and plus, you're not getting some of these lucky goes your way. And then plus, they've already exposed what you can do and what you can't do. Right? But the Bears, man, we getting defensive dudes dropping like flies and shit. Even the backups are dropping like fucking flies. And I'm just like, dude, come on now. Like, Ruben Hippolyte went out. Tyreek Stevenson went out again. So it's looking like Tyreek Stevenson might be out for at least a good week. And then freaking Dominique Robinson went out with concussion-like symptoms. I'm just like, dog, how much more can we take? That's what I'm saying. Like, honestly, at this point, I don't care how we fucking win. If we win, we win. And I literally said a tweet after Tremaine Edmonds got put on the IR. And I literally said, like, with all these injuries, at this point, whatever win you get, you get. If we find a way to make the playoffs, I'll take it. Eventually, I think at some point, like, the injuries are going to catch up with you. I thought it was going to catch up with us today. But surprisingly, for at least a week, it hasn't so far. We'll see how we do against Philadelphia, who is playing Dallas right now, and they're up 7-0 with 6 left to go in the first quarter. But you get my point. At some point, the injuries are going to just catch up, and it's like a lot of pressure on the offense to score points today. They managed to score 31 points today, which is good. So they managed to do that. So we'll take that, right? We'll take that. Offensive-wise, I thought was a good outing. Good outing. Whenever you put 31 points on the board, you'll take it. Because hey, look, that's just a good thing right there. Caleb Williams, 19 of 35 for 239 yards and 3 TDs. Only took 1 sack. A very bad sack, mind you. Look. I know I was watching the game, going through the Twitter timeline. Yes, it's the same exact shit. Yes, okay, yeah, Caleb Williams misses the easy throws sometimes, and sometimes he can be a little inaccurate. But at the end of the day, he still dropped 3 touchdowns, threw over 200 yards passing, and we get a W. You'll take it. Is it a pretty from him? No. Is the completion percentage the best? Probably. No. But are we still going out there getting wins? Yes. Is he still making some really good plays out there? Yes. At the end of the day, too, his receivers are not bailing him out and helping him out. Looking at you, Roma Dunze. In some instances, the play calling could be better in certain situations and things like that. Look, outside the inaccuracy issues, I thought he played a fine game. The only 2 massive issues I had was the sack he took by the sack he got taken down by TJ Watt. Yes, Darnell Wright got pretty badly beat there. But at the end of the day, as the quarterback, just throw it away. Don't live it. You're backed up in your own end zone, and if you take a sack, it's a safety. Just throw the fucking football away. And he doesn't do that. And he tries to escape TJ Watt. The difference is, my friend, TJ Watt is a very strong player. I don't think you're going to get out of that guy's arm's reach, right? And essentially, basically gets Caleb to force a fumble, and that ends up becoming a very critical touchdown for the Steelers right there. So he's got to be better there. I know when that happened, first round mock draft dude on Twitter was like, all these Bear fans coming at me. Look at that dumbass dude. Well, guess what, buddy? Yes, he lost the phone, but he still threw for over 200 yards passing and threw 3 TDs on a very, I would say, solid enough defense, huh? But see, I'm already going to expect first round mock pick Twitter account, who is a very known Caleb Williams hater, yet this is the same guy that loves him some Spencer Rattler. Mind you, he got benched for Tyler Shaw, who's a rookie, because Spencer Rattler just wasn't good enough. But first round mock on Twitter wants to hate on Caleb Williams and wants to spread all these narratives about Caleb Williams on his timeline every fucking day. But okay, yes, he still gets W's. What are the Saints doing? Not getting W's. Why is Spencer Rattler got benched? Because he wasn't getting W's and he wasn't playing good. And then again, I know some Bear fans are going to be irritated by Caleb Williams' play, but look, when is any good quarterback, or when is any quarterback not going to have their issues? For frick's sake, we always get on Jordan Love fucking playing average, and I hate the Packers as much as the next guy. But for frick's sake, he looks average, and yet the Packers still find ways to fucking win games. You know? Josh Allen hasn't been realistically good this year. I bet you Bill fans on Thursday night were like, what the fuck is Josh Allen doing? I bet you Chiefs fans today were like, what the hell is Patrick Mahomes doing today? I guarantee you Ravens fans were like, what is Lamar doing today? He can't do anything against the Jets. You know, see, this is the thing about Bear fans that they don't understand. This is the process of trying to develop a quarterback. He's going to have his issues. But see, guess what? This is what happens when we haven't had at least somewhat consistent weekly good quarterback play. Where you're just like, what the hell? Like, Bear fans want everything to be perfect, 100% perfect. They want him to give you like 10 of 10 or 30 for 30 by the end of the game for over 300 yards, yada, yada. Look, in a football game, you're not going to be perfect. You're not, unless it's like a complete blowout from beginning to end, like you're not going to be perfect. Plain and simple. Yes, do I want the completion percentage to be better? Yes. Do I want him to be a little bit better at throwing the ball? Like there was times like, you know, dog, hit the receiver. But that's the highs and lows, and I'm okay with that. At the end of the day, if him being up and down all the damn time, and at the end of the game, it leads us to getting fucking W's, especially down the road in the future, I'll live with that. And I guess millions of Bear fans will live with that. I'll be like, you know what, he's inaccurate, but you know what? He's getting us to win games. At the end of the day, this dude is the most talented quarterback the Bears have ever had in their team history. And yes, is it not perfect? Yes, it needs to be better sometimes. Yes, I'm not defending him and saying, oh, come on, blah, 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 blah. Yes, in some instances, he needs to be better. You can't be taking sacks and then fumbling the ball, which leads to an opposing team's touchdown, because it basically negate the touchdown you got from the interception due to Nashawn Wright. And that could have been a very important game-changing play there. Luckily, it didn't. Right? So that was one of them. The other one was the freaking delay a game on the second to last drive we had. You just can't take it. I know I haven't been to Soldier Field in years. And plus, for somebody that lives in California, you know, I would have to basically go out there for like a preseason game or, you know, once in a blue moon, call off work or something like that, right? But the delay a game, man, you have the two big clocks in Soldier Field. You got to know, I got to snap this ball. Otherwise, call a timeout or something. Again, I watched a little bit of Ben Johnson's press conference. See, if I was in the reporting room, a reporter, I'd be asking Ben Johnson, hey, Ben, on that third down play call, on that third down, on the second to last drive where you guys ended up having to delay a game, you know, does Caleb have the authority, if he's seeing the play clock dwindle down, he doesn't like what he's seeing, to call a timeout, or is the earnest on you to call the timeout? Like, see, these are the questions you got to ask. Like, these are the perfect questions to ask. Like, hey, man, like, on that situation, were you thinking about calling a timeout, or were you more concerned with trying to save as many timeouts? See, in that situation, you're up. You know, if you burn a timeout, burn the timeout. But I think Ben Johnson's thinking was, well, if any event, if our defense does give the game, you know, I'll have 3 timeouts in my pocket. But see, I don't need you to do the Eberflus shit where you don't call a timeout, right? Call the timeout. I think at that point in the game, you still had the 2-minute warning. So in a weird way, if you do get down, you still got a timeout in the 2-minute warning to play. That way, you could maybe came up with a better play call there on that, and then you save the delay of game, the loss of yards. But at the end of the day, the quarterbacks, At some point, Caleb Williams got to be like, you know what, damn it. Even if I don't have authority to call the timeout, I'm seeing the play clock dwindle down, bro. And I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm calling the fucking timeout. You go over to the coach and you tell him, Coach, I'm sorry for burning the timeout, but I had to call it. I didn't know. These guys didn't know what they were running up front. I was confused what was going on. I had to burn the timeout. Like, what's the point in saving a timeout in a late game situation? You're trying to close the game. If you have to use a timeout because you're running up short on the play clock, don't just stand there and do nothing and just save your timeouts because you don't do anything. If anything, that just shows me you don't trust your fucking offense to pick up the first down. It just shows me you don't trust your defense to get a stop. But use the timeouts, please. But see, in the first half, Ben Johnson used the timeouts wrong. When we're trying to get into the 2 minute, at least get a field goal before halftime, he calls a fucking timeout, which burns, I think, our last timeout, instead of just spiking the fucking football right there. Like, why not just spike the football and then before you line up for the field goal, you then call the timeout? I thought game management wise, from the timeout perspective, Ben Johnson wasn't good today. But those are my only two issues with Caleb Williams. The running game was fine. We only got 25 carries for 99 yards. The Steelers defense did a good job at stopping our run. But then again, I did think there was some things that we could have did better. Again, Common guy, 12 yards, carries for 48 yards and 1 TD. Swift only had 8 carries for 15 yards. Swift was completely negated today. And again, I was telling this to my Uncle Darryl, who typically joins me on my game recap. He's not here today because he's got the flu. So hopefully maybe next week, maybe Black Friday, he's able to come out and, talk the game with me. But, again, at the end of the day, for me, and I said this on a tweet, Common guy for me just looked like he's a better running back. Like, he's the guy that should be getting the every down carries compared to DeAndre Swift. It just feels like, to me, he is clear-cut running back one. He plays more physical, he hits the hole, and he doesn't go down on contact. And see, with me, DeAndre Swift is a hot and cold player. One night, DeAndre Swift comes out, looks fucking good. Another game, he looks freaking pathetic. And I'm like, dude, that's why I'm convinced. I don't think he's coming back, but if he does come back on like a team-friendly deal, okay. But I would just hope like they give more carries to Common guy because I think he's RB1. And honestly, it sucks that, on that last drive we had, he could have picked up the first down and iced that game if he didn't fucking trip. Like, he had a gaping hole. He could have freaking picked up the first down. Shit, maybe had a walk-off touchdown, runaway touchdown to put us up by damn near 2 scores, and the game would have been effectively over there. Sadly, I didn't start him in fantasy, but that's just my problem. Not like it would have changed anything. I did start Caleb Williams. He gave me, I think, let me see. What did Caleb Williams give me today on fantasy? Let's see. He gave me a nice crisp 29 points. I'll take that. Solid. And I'm probably going to lose, but that's the thing. And Jameson Williams chose the perfect week to do nothing. But you get my point. I think Common guy is clearly the better receiver or the better running back than DeAndre Swift. He just hits the hole and he does better. Receiving wise, we had over 200 yards receiving, of course, right? And it was mostly led by DJ Moore, who had 2 TDs today. This was the DJ Moore game. I enjoyed it. See, when we featured DJ Moore in the offense, it was good. Good stuff. Colson Loveland also had a touchdown today, too, on a nice slant. Colson Loveland, he's honestly starting to become the best, wide receiver. Out of one catch, he freaking took a shot. Ball comes up, but he still catches it. This dude, man. See, now he's the guy that actually, when he gets targets, he lives up to being a top 10 pick. The other guy in Roma Dunze ain't living up to that. And yes, Roma Dunze had 3 receptions for 53 yards. He could have had 4 if he didn't drop it. I don't know what's up with Roma Dunze. He don't play like a number 9 drafted receiver, bro. I expect more from him. Now I see why maybe it's not in our best interest to trade DJ Moore away anytime soon. Because clearly Roma Dunze is showing me he can't take that next step. Caleb Williams gives him a ball across the sideline, and this dude, instead of just keeping it out as he's walking, as he's, bouncing out of bounds, he tucks it, and then the defender comes in. Great play, and the defender not giving up on the play. He pops it out. Incompletion. And I'm like, Rome, come on now. I know one of the inaccuracies, some people, Caleb said, like he threw in the middle of the field on the second last drive. I think Rome needs to sell his way out and die for that. If he dies for that, okay, at least you're showing me effort. You're trying to catch a ball that maybe is a hard catch. Like, come on now. It's just like what the Vikings play last week. He had a chance to catch a touchdown, but he made a business decision and didn't want to get popped, even though he'll catch a touchdown. Yeah, his dad is always bitching. Well, guess what? Tell your son to catch the fucking football and stop having all these drops. They're burning through 746 yards. There was one of the screen passes he got. I thought at the end of the half, I thought he was gonna freaking take that for a touchdown. But no, he got caught up. But yeah, look, Colston still showing good things. DJ Moore had a nice coming out party. He had an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and then he made it up by scoring the touchdown. So it's good to see that he did that. DJ Moore had 7 targets all game today. Rome Odunze had 9 targets all game today. Colston had 5. Luther had 5, and the rest of everybody else had 1. So there's that. Oh yeah, DeAndre Swift fumbled the football too. Honestly, I could barely see where he fumbled the football. The refs did not give him forward progress, and then the damn refs just were listening to the Steelers be like, "Hey, it's our ball," and they gave him the ball. And then again, I understand like Caleb Williams was still in bounds, but dude got fucking shoved out of bounds by Jalen Ramsey, and the refs absolutely give no flag call. And you have the broadcasters, and again, I think J.J. Watt does a great job at color commentating, but he's like, well, he's still in bounds. I'm like, no, Ninja. I've seen more quarterbacks get called for, more defensive players get called for that. Patrick Mahomes, that happens to Patrick Mahomes, they're always throwing the flag for him. That happens to Josh Allen, they're throwing the flag for him. Like, come on now. Like, that should have been a flag. But Chicago Bears quarterbacks don't get that call because you're not good enough. You're not respected enough. Not in these parts, boy. But, all right. All right. The defense, well, actually, special teams I thought was fine. They were fine for the most part. Nothing else to say. I did not like the fact that Torrey Taylor did not pin the Steelers deep on that last drive. He just kicked it deep and it just obviously bounced into the end zone. I'm like, bro, like freaking pooch kick it out of bounds if it means they're on the damn 5-yard line and they go all the distance to try to get a fucking field goal. Like, where are the awareness from your punter to know, hey, let's pin them deep and let's make them try to go at least somewhat 99 yards to try to get a field goal. Luckily, we did get the stop. But the defense today, I thought, did a good job today. Ogbongmiga and DeMarco Jackson, who were the linebackers today, Jackson had 15, Ogbongmiga had 14. You'll take it, man. You'll take it. I might have to revoke my Nashawn Wright hate card or my benching he needs to be bench card because this is the second week in a row. Nashawn Wright has come up big when the team needs him, and one of the first few plays of the game, he intercepts freaking Mason Rudolph off the jump. I gotta quote unquote tip my cap to Nashawn Wright. I was calling for his ass to be benched, and this dude coming out of nowhere and he get 2 interceptions. I'm still the opinion he's a nice solid backup to have, but impressive stuff we're getting from him. I have to respect it. I got to call it. He's played some good football. This game, I thought he played some really good football. Not getting cooked. Now, look, again, I don't know if you're going to be able to get him on a cheap deal next year. Like, after the performance he played, he's going to think, oh, okay, after this production, his agent's going to be like, bro, he needs the money. And he's definitely going to get paid. I don't know if the Bears will re-sign him and give him a nice contract. If you give him a nice contract, that you would think he's starting, but on here he probably might be a backup. But we'll see. Maybe he's willing to come back because he likes what we're building here. But if he leaves, he's probably leaving to maybe go get money, and maybe a team's offering him a starting spot just looking at what he's doing. So props to him. Nick McLeod though, no, he's not it. He's not it. I still think they could find a better player out there than Nick McLeod, but that's just me. That's just me. But Nashawn Wright, props. And that's why, with the DBs, that's why I hope like Al Harris at least maybe stays one more, maybe 2 more years. I'm pushing it. At least just stay 1 more year with the Bears. And then maybe he gets picked up to go be a defensive coordinator somewhere else. Because I do think he's going to get picked up to be a defensive coordinator. Because ain't no way he's able to get these guys to get takeaways like this from the DB room and not be offered a defensive coordinator position. And maybe he is gone by next year, which will be a huge blow. But, there's a reason why Al Harris was brought here. Reason why Al Harris was brought here. So you'll freaking take it, man. You'll take it. So I think he's gonna be a very good defensive coordinator somewhere. Maybe potential head coach. But I hope Al Harris does stay as DB's coach for at least one more season. And then if somebody offers him a DC job, hey, you go take it, man. Go make your career success. But if he goes after this year, I understand. He's got these DBs playing good. You just hope whoever replaces him does a really good job too. So, you expect, when the Bears are good, there's going to be calls for their coaching staff, for Ben Johnson's coaching staff. And it's up to Ben Johnson to replace those guys. Like, shit, Declan Doyle, apparently, from what rumors are saying, he's already probably going to be getting, like, head coaching calls or some shit. I'm like, okay. I highly doubt he'll take the job. I think he'll stay around because he's a young dude. But I'm like, well, damn, already? Dude's going to be getting, head coaching interviews? But that's just the nature of the business. Yeah, the defense wasn't pretty today, and there was times where, especially early in the game, like that first drive where the Steelers get the first touchdown, like, dog, it was strictly just like dink and dunks. Excuse me, not even challenge pushing. Not the Steelers don't even push the ball down the field, and you're getting dinks and dunks, and it's like, come on, man. At some point I thought it was like the linebackers not fitting their gaps and everything correctly and not doing that right. Some of it was just missed tackles. Like they let Gainwell freaking go off this game, and I'm like, dude, come on now, right? But the linebackers, especially the second half, they started to settle in. Like one of the plays was like the running back just flexes out, and he ended up catching and getting like a good first down. Second half, they cleared that up, and they had the running back. I think it was Ogbongbemiga. He ended up going out there this time and ended up picking it up. So, you'll take that. That's the improvements. Again, it's not pretty from the linebacker department. You hope at least maybe TJ Edwards comes back next week with maybe a club on his hand and he's able to go against the Eagles. But, you'll take it for what it's worth. It's not pretty from the linebacker department, but it is what it is. The defensive line, I thought they did what they could. They stepped up. Montez Sweat was probably the highlight. He's definitely earning. He definitely showed up like he played like the player that obviously he decided to be paid, right? So, there's that. So that was good on him. That was definitely good on him, right? But there were still instances where this week I thought he had a clear-cut sack on freaking Mason Rudolph, and Mason Rudolph like escapes him. Like, dog, come on now. Mason Rudolph is escaping sacks from you. And then he ended up getting juked out by Mason Rudolph, but then the next play, he ended up forcing a fucking strip sack. And I'm like, okay, so hey, Montez Sweat is starting to play up to the level. It could be better, but he's playing up to like the guy he should be getting paid because for the first couple of weeks, he was a no-show. Now looks like as of late, he's been consistently getting to the quarterback. So we'll take it. Again, I still think we still do need a really good pass rusher opposite of him, but hey, the more you'll take it. But regardless, look, man, nothing much else to say. I can't even be mad. I can't even rant too crazy about some of the things. I thought I looked fine. Bears won another close game. At the end of the day, look, I still want the Bears to freaking win a game where it's I can rest easily, right? I can rest easily, but no, it's we always got to have these freaking barn burner of a games, huh? But yeah, but the Bears win another game. We're 8-3, still atop of the NFC North at least for another week. We got to go play Philadelphia in Philadelphia, not a tough place or a tough place to play. And then it's back into division game with the Packers after that. So we'll see, man. We will see. But look, I'm just happy the Bears got another W. We live to fight another day. And again, hey man, you find a way to win in Philadelphia. You get one of these games against Green Bay. You gotta beat Cleveland, and then maybe you beat San Francisco, and maybe find a way to beat Detroit. You're guaranteeing yourself to be in the playoffs this upcoming season. I would say the Bears might have to get at least a good three more wins on their schedule to be able to get to the playoffs. And if they can get to the playoffs, at that point, anything can fucking happen. So the Bears got to close up the season the right way, continue to win. And if they continue to win, and especially if you take care of business with the Packers and you beat the Lions, well, meanwhile, those teams are getting beat by other teams. You can maybe not only find yourself in the playoffs, but you can find yourself maybe potentially finding a way to win the division, which means you'll be ahead of schedule than you already are. Because this is the season where, okay, if we miss the playoffs just barely and it comes on the last game, okay. But hey, if we do make the playoffs, okay, we'll go with the vibes and we still know there's things to build on. But see, this is the good thing. That's good. And it will be a great start if we do find a way to get to playoffs. It will be up to next year's squad to see if we can continue that sustained success and not be like 2018 where you take a step back. Instead of that, you need to be taking a step forward in the right direction, where that's when consistently you're going to be winning games and consistently making the playoffs from here on out. So that's the thing. But again, for another week, the Bears find a way to win. We're 8-3. So Detroit and Green Bay still got to look up for the time being. So at least for another week, we get a win. So hopefully next Thursday, Packers Lions ends in a tie on Thanksgiving Day, and then the Bears win on Black Friday, which is my birthday. So I hope this go around, because last year was a terrible birthday with the fact that the Bears lost to the Lions on Thanksgiving Day, but at the end of it, my birthday present was Eberflus got fired. So hopefully this year, get a tie game between the Packers and the Lions, and then the Bears go on my birthday and beat the Eagles on Black Friday. But we'll see. Because right now I'm looking at the score. I gotta check the score right now. If they stop showing this damn replay, whatever. I'll check. But anyways, I'm out, guys. Catch you guys in this video. Till then, guys, I will see you guys later. And we got a Cowboys player crying. Eagles are up 14-0 on the Cowboys. Okay, so whatever. 1 week at a time, guys. Till then, guys, catch you guys in the next video. And yeah, till then, guys, peace.